Hey guys, YouTube Lion here, and this is just a quick update. I just want to answer a few people's questions. I got a few on YouTube, and also there's been some comments on the YNC, and some guy made my video aware to the users of the YNC. Clearly someone that doesn't particularly like me, but that's no surprise. I don't think many of the YNC members actually like me. And you know, for good reason. I can see their point. But yeah, mainly I had a message on YouTube, or a comment on YouTube, that basically said, why am I doing this? And that Mike's real name is William, so obviously that's William Michael Stevens, so that makes sense. And and also the co-owner Dan. Now I did a bit of digging, and what I managed to find, that literally all I knew was this guy's first name, Dan. That was it. Mike and Dan is all they keep mentioning on the forum. So what I did was I did a search for William Stevens and the YNC.com, and this page came up. Now what basically happens is these guys like to protect their domains using a company called domainsbyproxy.com, and what they do is it protects their address, their real telephone number, their real email address, their real name, and uses domain by proxy's name instead. And it can come in handy. You know, obviously most people use it because they don't want people to know who owns the website, which is fair enough. However, this guy, who, as you can see here, owns over 100 domain names. Obviously they're not all active, but he owns nonetheless over 100 domain names. And the .com address, as I say, is protected, but what he's done is he's actually forgot to order, or couldn't be bothered to order, the domains by proxy protection on the ync.org. Now, as you can see, the ync.org, owned by William Stevens, and here is the registration address, 1093 Stowell Drive, in obviously in Rochester. So what I'm going to do, paste that in, type in Rochester, here we have it here, 1093 Stowell Drive. Click the little yellow man. And here is that address. Now, to me it looks like one of these over here, or you know, because at the moment it says I'm on 472, which is obviously on this side of the road, so I've got a feeling it's one of these. Now over here in England we call them estates, E-S-T-A-T-E-S. It basically just means like a group of houses or homes that are joined together, apartments usually, or ground floor houses, that are joined together to make one big community. Now I don't know what you guys in America call it, but that certainly doesn't look like the headquarters of Globe Media Corporation. So once again, much like my other video, the YNC update, in which I show you William Stevens' property, or at least the address I had at the time, it's once again just a private home. It's a private residence. That's it. He hasn't got a headquarters. I'm going to close that because I don't really need it now. However, it also brought up this email address, wmsnationwide@yahoo.com. Now, of course, WMS being William Michael Stevens. Now, William Michael Stevens Nationwide is obviously, you know, obviously that's his personal address, or a personal business address at least. So you think that only he would use that. However, doing a search, I find here that website address actually holds a variety of other domain names. Now obviously webboard.com only lists the ones that were registered through them or that they could detect, but you've got Dick Pills, or Dick-Pills, Dish Albany, Dish Buffalo, Stop Football, News Vex, Sure News, and I think Sure News is actually active because Shaw News is at the bottom of the YNC show up as a sponsor. So he's actually kind of sponsoring himself. What a prick. Yeah, he's actually kind of sponsoring himself, or at the very least, just advertising his other website, which is the same shit as the YNC has. It's very surprising they don't actually list the YNC as their friends. But anyway, regardless of that, you're awful, but with very poor grammar. Some white dude, DTY Nationwide, RSI Corp, World Watch and ScanCoop. Now, this may not seem much to you, but I did a search for the dick-pills.com, for example, and found this webpage, which is the main crawler, and it tells you it lists with GoDaddy and all the usual stuff, when it expires. But if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see that William Michael Stevens Nationwide at yahoo.com was used for Dan Salomon at 80 Standish Road. Now I happen to have 80 Standish Road right here, and as you can see, very proud American, got the big old flag outside. Of course, the fact that he's a complete left nationalist, I'm not surprised. Okay, Google's really messed up there, but you get the point. That was him. Let's go back there. Yeah, so there you go. Now, you know, I could be mistaken, and it could be, if I go up here a little bit, it could be that house there, or it could be this one here. But either way, that still isn't the headquarters of Globe Media Corp, is it? That is in no way an office. That's yet another mama's home, which, as you saw from my last video, you'll see that that's all these guys actually do. They're not big shots. They like to make you think they are, but they're really not. They live in pokey little homes. They do sod all. They don't tell their friends and family actually what they do because they're ashamed. They'll tell them that they're online businessmen, or they buy and sell domains. They buy and add property to domains. Well, actually no, what you do is you cash in on gore and other people's tears and turmoil, and that's all you ever really do. That's all you're gonna do, because it makes you money at the end of the day, and that's what happens. Now, as far as this Dan guy, obviously that's the address that he registered, so this might actually be where he lives, or it might just be yet another one of their so-called headquarters. Now, you know, this email address, it comes up in a few places. I'm gonna do a live search for you. I don't know what's gonna come up, but I'm gonna do a live search. But yeah, Dan Salomon. I've done a search, and there's loads of people called Dan Salomon or Daniel Salomon. So to be honest with you, I really don't know who this guy is, to be honest with you. Sorry, that was just something I was checking. But yeah, I really don't know who this guy is. There's certainly not as much about this guy online as there is William. Let's close that. Let's close that one. I'll get to the thread in a second. Yeah, Stock Football, ScanCorp, NewsVex, RSI Corp. Let's have a look at that one. New contract without my consent. Ah, here we go. So he's now a Sprint Nextel dealer in upstate New York, is he? Okay, so there's these people, they've gone onto Yahoo groups to complain about Singular. And yet, this was in what, 2005? So roughly around the time that he was making the website. Sort of 2005, 2006 is when he made the website. He suddenly decided to offer his services as a Sprint Nextel dealer. Fair enough, okay. I don't know if that number is going to come up for anything, but nah. Well, there was a Craigslist. No, it's gone. But anyway, so he suddenly came in and said, yeah, I could reduce your phone bill. All this guy is a chancer. That's all he is. He's a nothing. I feel kind of let down because, to be honest with you, I really thought that this guy, actually, yeah, in fact, he even puts youngnationalist.com, which of course was the first guys of the YNC. It's actually the same address as the YNC. Obviously, he uses the same PO box. Yeah, you know, I was kind of let down because, you know, when I was chasing this guy, he seemed like someone who was you know, a big deal. He was the big bad guy for me, and it turns out he's just a show-off bodybuilder living with his mum, taking chances, trying to cash in when he can. I feel really let down. He's, you know, to me, I see him now as some miniature little parody of himself, you know. Yeah, it is a bit of a letdown because I was really hoping that he really was this big guy, but unfortunately, he's really not. He's, you know, the YNC is one of many sites for him. He, you know, he just counts the checks and that's it. He doesn't really give a toss about the YNC. Yeah, you know, this new website, for example, that's being talked about for the YNC. The only reason that they'd be doing that is because they'd be able to cash in on more sponsors. They might be able to get some AdSense or products or affiliates or stores running. It's really the only reason they're going to do it. I'm not sure if this is going to work because I actually, you know, I actually don't remember the website I used, but I'm going to use a couple of appraisers. Just alright, I'm obviously not that one. Just to give a kind of fair reading. So have a look. Your site is worth 438,000. That one doesn't really. See, I found this website that actually showed what it was worth and what it's worth now, and it was a lot less than it used to be. This one's just not loading. If I remember rightly, it used to be worth something like 600,000 or 700,000, and it's just dropped. It's dropped in half. The value's gone shooting down. That's the real reason why you know, why they want to change the website. They obviously need a new approach. Right, what's this one here? I mean, they get $635 every single day from ad revenue. And look at it. I mean, if you look at the change in page views, people are leaving. This is how it is. I mean, I'm only one of 6.8% to actually ever go there from this country. So 630 every single day. So just out of interest, what I'm going to do, times 7, so you make 4,445 a week. Every single month they get 17,000 from ad revenue, and of course every single year they make $213,000 from ad revenue. Now of course I don't know how much the website costs to run. There'll be bandwidth out of that. There'll be living costs, and with them it looks like they like to try and give the impression that they live the high life. So you know, I'm sure there'll be a lot of money going on that as well. Maybe all these homes they buy for their friends and families and then use their address to register the company. I don't know. But for as long as they refuse to talk to me, I'll never know. That's the problem. Now I'm going to read a couple of these and answer you guys. Here's the most fantastically mundane ability to take things out of context. He called me a racist. Well, that's because you are. That's fact. I mean, if you want to go and throw racist words around, then you have to be prepared to be called a racist. You know, if I went around kicking you in the balls, I'm going to have to be prepared to be called a ball kicker. That's just life, mate. Whether you like it or not, that's life. You can't go around shouting racist words and then complain when someone calls you a racist. You know, it's idiotic. It really is. Think about it. What's this one? Honey Brown. I don't know who that's to. Oh, I get mentioned. I'm like famous. Oh, Mr. Google Lion Man. I'm not Kurt, but apology accepted. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I did hold my hand up and apologise to that. I wasn't 100% sure, so yeah. That's fair enough. I do apologise. And it was personal because the hacker sent me messages about fucking my dead mum. Not going to mess around with words since you don't. Fair enough. You would have had to have known me on the forum for a couple of years to have known that she was dead. And he did this before he deleted my account. Then he deleted me again. P.S. I'm still female. You know what? Regardless of our difference of opinions, I don't condone any messages like that for any reason. I not that long ago lost my mum, so I know exactly what you're going through there. I know me saying that probably means I'm going to get some messages about it, but it was a while ago. I can put that behind me because when a stranger says something, it doesn't really mean much to me. It's only if people I care about say something about me that's not very nice, that's when I take it to heart. But strangers, that doesn't bother me. They're just names on the internet. And they don't know me. The trolls, most of them. But no, regardless of how I think about you or the site or anything else, I would never condone messages like that. So I do feel sorry for you for that. That's because I only see a little bit. Well, in fairness, I've been through a lot of posts on here, chronically disturbed, and the problem is that's not the only word I see. It really isn't. Seriously though, I wish he would join and post in the mature section. Get to know a few of us. We aren't all arseholes, and I'm sure you actually have a mature section. That I didn't know. I don't think any of you could be mature. I'll be eager to check that out in a minute. Let's just see how mature it really is. No, I won't join the board. My last video I said why I didn't want to join the board. Well, actually, not my last one. That was how to get the YNC Underground for free, but the one before that. We aren't arseholes, and I'm upset he didn't say happy birthday. I don't think you really, I don't think you really give a toss whether I say happy birthday to you or not, mate. Yeah, I don't think it really going to matter to you too much. Cool video. Cheers. 9 out of 10 would watch again. Hope you do. I'm pretty sure me and Katie are not the same. Yeah, that's fair enough. My apology goes to you as well, Kurt. I did confuse both of you. I'm not sure why. I for some reason remember someone messaging me on YouTube as two names, or commenting as two names. I for some reason thought it was you two. So yeah, I apologise. Right, what is it that you want? When will you stop making videos? Should the entire forum vanish, or just that racist American hating Legion or Satan worshipping Zyklon band? Tell us what you want, man. Well, what I want is for the people responsible to stand up and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, this is why we're doing it. Yeah, this is you know, yeah, we do pass the buck. Yes, we have lied on our terms and conditions. Things like that, really. That's all I want. When we stop making videos, either when I get bored or when I die, whichever comes first. Should the entire forum vanish? Ideally, I'd love it to. Yeah, I really would. I think at the very least, racist users. I know the Satan worshipping thing is probably a joke, and if it's not, then well, I'm an atheist. So, you know, I'm more than willing to let anyone have their own opinions and, you know, and believe what they want. If it's Satan, so be it. No different to God, in my opinion. So no different to Santa Claus or Harry Potter. But I think at the very least, you know, anyone racist should be banned. Anyone who's an idiot should be banned. Why let anyone off? You know, if they're there purely just to troll not only other users but you guys as well, and why keep them around? You know, we were mostly all given the time to watch his video, and he can't take the time to make himself an account and come talk to us. I'm disappointed, young man. He says he has tried Dan, Badger and Zyklon, but what about me or even Legion? He just called racist from one word being picked out of many, judging us. Not all come for gore and rape. I'm inviting you to join and PM me, get to know me. Well, you have left some comments on my YouTube videos. I talk to you via my videos, so I really don't see the point in making an account. Like I said, if I make an account, you know, I'd be a zebra in a field of lions. You know, why would I put myself through that? You know where to find me if you want me. So, and that's really how I'm going to keep it. Really. Well, it says. See, I don't really know what you mean by it. He says he has tried Dan, Badger, and Zyklon. Who I've tried is the website email. I've emailed them 3 times. I don't know who sees the email, the official email for the YNC. If that's Dan, if that's William, if that's anyone else, then or whoever gets to see that email is the ones that are ignoring me. So I've not contacted Badger or Zyklon directly because I'd have to join the forum for that. They've not contacted me on YouTube or any other way, so I can't really talk to them unless I sign up. So I've not spoken to them apart from on the video, of course. So obviously I've not spoke to you or Legion on the forum. Yes, I did pick a racist word out of many, but considering the others were also, usually an insult or abuse of other kinds, I could have picked one of many. That's the thing. I'm invited to join a PM. No, not really. Get to know me. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'd get on too well, to be honest with you. What's this one? Easy Kurt, he's already confused you for chronically disturb. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But at least he apologised. Yes, I did. He discourages the YNC member comments come off as a heartless, insincere, immoral, and that we're not cleaning up the comments. He wants a serious sit-down conversation with Dan and Mike, the site owners who, in light of the First Amendment, have allowed many such comments posted in the past 4+ years. Props to Dan and Mike for keeping the site running and recruiting loyal sponsors through thick and thin. To answer that a bit quickly, the First Amendment, yeah, fair enough, it's there to, so you guys can post what you like and have an opinion. But please bear in mind that the First Amendment, kind of combined with freedom of speech, also gives protection to, I'm not sure of the exact wording, but I believe it's called minority groups. I think it's minority groups. Yeah, I think it's minority groups of race, of disability, etc. Who's protecting them? Who's protecting their rights? I don't see the owners protecting them. What I see is the owners protecting the users that they want to protect. Now, whether it's the owners directly or whether it's the mods and the admin, Zycon, if you're a mod, then this applies to you. Well, what are you doing to make sure that those guys who are being abused have their rights protected? From what I see nothing. My observation over the years is some response pattern with each critic. The more serious critics take YNC content to heart, the more they hate and or want to change the site. I just don't see him meeting ends with Dan and Mike on how the site should present itself. So I'm not surprised that they haven't gone back to his request for a serious sit-down conversation. I'm not surprised either, because they only care about money. They don't actually want to talk about stuff. You've got to bear in mind, this is just one of another 113 websites that they own, or at least domain names. Of course, they're not all going to be live websites. They don't give a toss. They really don't. It's just revenue for them. That little demonstration I did with how much revenue comes in, that's only one of their websites. Imagine how much they're actually bringing in. I agree with you that I can't really see me meeting ends with them because they don't really want to know. And yeah, and I agree with V Bulletin. It is quite a security hole-ridden piece of software. I mean, I've had the unfortunate experience in running V Bulletin myself. What's this one? Badger. He's a stranger one. Calling Legion racist. That's like accusing me of zoophilia because I chose username Badger. No. Actually, no. It's not even similar in any way. I see you put it there for comedy effect, but it's just not worked. If your username was I like to fuck badgers, then yeah, you would have a point. However, he actually used a racist term towards another member. That is being racist. Whether it was once or a million times he said it, that's being racist. You calling yourself Badger isn't being racist, that's you calling yourself an animal's name. I would expect, if I'm going to get questions like that thrown at me, I expect some sort of logic behind them at least. And your next part, I've been using the internet for about 16 years now, 17 years. So I know what's online, and I see abusers like you, 10 to a dozen. So yeah, it really doesn't bother me too much. This message isn't for me. I'm going to ignore this one. This is for another user. What Badger said? This gremlin really doesn't say much. I'd like him to speak up a bit more. That's another one there. And that's obviously just talking about the deleted accounts, and that's the last of that. So yeah, I'm sorry this video went on for a little bit longer than I planned, 29 minutes. However, I've answered you, I've unearthed a bit more about the YNC and this is pretty much it. So I would say YouTube line out. If you've got any more messages, feel free to send them on YouTube. See ya.